In this video, I will show you how to write and export animated letters and words in handwriting with After Effects. It is not difficult to make, quite practical. I edit an image to the scene, a green themed image. I right click on this image, I create a composition with new composition from selection in these image dimensions. Since the size of the image is 1920 by 1080, I applied such a method. If your image is in a different size, you can right click and select new composition to create a composition that suits you. Since we are going to animate a text in this video, we first need to write a text. I select type tool in the toolbox above and I will write some text on the scene. I wrote my text. Let's size it and position it in the middle of the scene. Now, this text currently has plain text. Since our aim is to animate the handwriting, it would be nice to have our font in the form of a handwriting. You can download handwritten fonts from sites that provide free fonts, such as DaFont. This is how I change my font. And after recentering the page, we can now move on to the handwriting animation. In this effect, the thing we need to pay attention to when choosing a font is that since we will be masking the characters one by one, the characters shouldn't overlap each other. It would be better if you choose the font accordingly. We may run into trouble using this technique, as the letters currently overlap each other. Therefore, I'll need to open the gaps so that they don't touch each other. Now I right click on the text and select Create Masks from text under Create. With this selection, created a new layer here. As you can see here, the most important feature of this layer is that it turns all the letters into a separate mask, and we need the stroke effect to make this handwritten animation. With this layer selected, we choose Effect, Generate, Stroke Effect. We will need the Effects Control panel. If you don't see this panel, make sure the Effect Controls panel under the window is checked. And with this effect, we need to bring the paint style part to reveal from the on original option. When we change this, the white color will disappear and a thin line will appear here. We need to thicken this line, this thin line. Using the brush size, I resize it to cover it completely, making sure the letter is completely filled. Apply this effect to the first letter only. If you want other letters to have this effect, we need to select the All Mask option. Make sure the stroke sequence option just below is checked as well. When we check in this way, we see that all the letters are filled. Now we can give animation. I move the timeline to the very beginning of the scene, and the property we will use to animate is the end property here. I set the end option to 0. I click on the keyframe icon on the left of it, and let's move the timeline a little further. Change the end value to 100%. Now when I play the animation, this is the result we get. In this way, we can give animation in the fastest way. Let's soften them by selecting the keyframes, pressing F9 on the keyboard, and open the graph editor and do a little editing. If it doesn't look like this, right click and make sure the Edit Speed Graph option is checked. Sometimes, other options are also selected. With the speed graph active, let's select the keyframes here and move them to the left. So it will look like this. We can switch to the normal view by clicking the graph editor icon again. Of course, this method doesn't give perfect results. However, this is how we do handwriting animation quickly and practically. There are many different methods, but if you are looking for a practical solution in your works, such as chalk effect on the blackboard or writing effect on paper, you can use this effect in this way. By the way, let me show you how you can change this color, because it will be white and changing these colors will not work either. With the newly created layer selected, we select the tint effect under color correction below the effect. In this section, you can change the map white to option, that is, the white option to a color you want, that is, to the color you want to change the handwriting. The result will still not change, your effect will remain the same. However, the white colors will change with the color you specify. I'm making this white again. After applying this animation, if it feels fast, you can expand the keyframes you have given a little more. I just selected the layer on the keyboard and pressed the letter U to open the keyframes. The letter U only shows us the active keyframes. You can make the animation slower by moving the keyframe on the right to the right. That's all for this video. I hope it was useful. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.